Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly reaction for UnOrdinary. Last week we left off with John taking out Blyke. Brain fart there. And it was pretty sad. It was pretty sad because Blyke legitimately was trying to be John's friend, and now things are happening at Wellston, let's just say that. This week we have chapter 139, and I haven't seen the thumbnail yet, but it's out for Fast Pass. And before we get in, a few things I want to clarify. Well, one thing I want to clarify. Blyke. Last week I said how John was using his lasers on each finger individually. Blyke has sorta done that before. I said last week how I don't think Blyke had done that previously, but he has done it before. When John slapped Remy, and we'll talk about that too, he flicked a laser at John. So it was kind of like this, and it was centered right here, so he didn't use the whole palm of his hand for that. It was just one or two fingers. And someone pointed this out in the comments to me, actually. I think it was chapter 86, when John had moved into the dorms and those two douchebags were picking on him outside of their room. Blyke fired his laser with just using two fingers. So we have seen Blyke use just one finger before, or not use just his palm before. We have seen him use his fingers for his ability before. So thank you so much for wanted to clear that up, and thank you to the person who pointed that out. Secondly, John versus Remy. It's probably going to happen because John said he wants to destroy the hierarchy. Granted, beating Remy probably wouldn't, well, no, beating Remy certainly wouldn't get him everywhere. Everyone would be pissed, Serafina included, but there's not really any benefit to John, not that I can think of, I should specify, not really any real benefit to John beating her, because if he dethrones Arlo, she would still be king, or queen. We got that confirmation how the royal system works when Arlo and Blyke were talking in chapter 137. But what I'm hoping is going to happen with the Remy situation. I hope that Cecile tells Remy, follow me, and I hope she takes her to the mass student, to John. Remy's clearly is going to get very intense, she's going to get very tense, this is a setup. Cecile, how could you do this? You're working for the mass student? This guy's a jackass. But what I hope will happen is that John will unmask himself to Remy. And a lot of people were saying that they think Remy would side with John, for dethroning Arlo, except now he's hurt both of her best friends. So she probably won't anymore. But what I'm hoping he will say is, he will unmask himself to her and say, Remy, I beat Ison, I beat Blyke. Those injuries you saw on Arlo came from me. Stand down and abandon your rank and your throne, or I will dethrone you myself. I'm hoping that John will give Remy, if he doesn't attack her at all, that would be fantastic. Remy is, Sarah did still beat up John at first, but from what we've seen, Remy is the only person at Wellston to never do anything mean to John. We saw her when she tried to help him pick up his papers from the person who threw them on the floor, and when he slapped her, she was pissed, but other than that, we have never seen Remy be cruel to John. So I'm hoping he'll give her a chance. Anyway, that's my piece. Pretty sure that's all I wanted to bring up. So yeah. Actually, one more thing I want to talk about. Arlo's barrier. This has been something I've been thinking about for a while now, and it's just a completely random topic. Maybe this has been confirmed. Maybe others have had this idea. I just haven't seen it myself. But I think for Arlo's barrier, he has to choose to send the damage back. He has to choose to send it back and who to send it back at. Because every time we have seen someone take damage from Arlo's barrier, at least I'm sure like 80% of the time, we always see a shot of his eyes looking at the person who just struck the barrier. So I'm pretty sure it's not just automatic. I'm pretty sure, like example, when Elena punched his barrier when he was getting Seraphina back, we saw him look back at her. Like, we saw his eyes shift to her, and then the shattering began. And then another thing I noticed, I think her name is Bria. I'm pretty sure that's her name. Bria or Brie. I've been saying Brie. I'm full of crap. I've been calling her Brie, not Bria. I think her name is Brie. When Brie shot at Seraphina with her ability, and Arlo ended up blocking, Brie took no damage whatsoever. Absolutely none. There was nothing, no effects to her. It's just after that, Arlo just shrunk her down with his ability. Anyway, that's it. Maybe, I'm sure like someone else has noticed this and brought it up. Maybe it has been confirmed or speculated by the community already. This is just something I noticed and wanted to talk to you guys about. Anyway, I'll have some other things to talk about, but that'll be at the end of the video. Once again, I'm going to turn on my light and turn off my fan. I swear that won't become a regular occurrence, guys. It's just, while filming, the sun has gone down a lot more than originally was. But, so, we will jump into chapter 139 now, and it's Remy. The thumbnail is Remy, and she looks scared. So, either she has seen Blyke, or John has confronted her. So, oh, one more thing I want to talk about before I forget. I'm going to type it out so I know to bring it up later. Okay. So let's jump right in. Chapter 139. Episode 139. And it's Arlo walking down the hall. And someone says, No, I was there. Yeah, so was I. And then it's a few different students, colored students. One has a blue hair. One kind of has Junie's haircut, but instead of the buns, it's just little strands. And then it looks like one has brown hair. And Arlo's hearing them. Blyke wasn't able to do anything against him. The fight was totally one-sided and brutal as hell. Dang, who is this guy? Nobody knows. He's a complete mystery. He just showed up out of nowhere, beat up Ison, and now Blyke too. One thing's for sure though, he's on the same level as the Royals, and Arlo is looking over at them. Yeah, people are even calling him Joker. Oh my god! So, someone commented, I forget which chapter it was, but someone commented on one of the chapters on Webtoons on the website. Blyke is the Jack, Remy is the Queen, Arlo is the King, Seraphina is the Ace, John is the Joker, and Ison even said the wild card. And I don't know too much about poker, but I'm pretty sure the Joker is referred to in some cases, like in some games, depending on like what rules you're playing, as the wild card. So it's really cool. It's really cool, like, if Uru had that planned, or if she just threw that in, like, because the fans had, like, started calling John that themselves. So, John the Joker. I like that. I like that. Yeah, people are even calling him Joker. And Arlo's just, like, looking at them. Gee, you two are really making a big deal out of this. Of course, because it's terrifying. Think about it. Someone this powerful has been hiding among us all along. He could be anyone. What if we pissed him off in the past? He'll come for us. Yeah, not cool. Crap, you guys are freaking me out. You sure it wasn't Arlo or something? You don't say that when the king is nearby. And Arlo knows that people have speculated him. No, stupid. Arlo has a barrier ability. And they noticed that Arlo was there. Ah! Arlo! But please don't listen to her. She's an idiot. UnOrdinary episode 139. Infirmary. And it's Blyke. He's opening his eyes and he's coming back to. And he's pretty bad damaged. Those, like, John straight up shot beams straight through his body. And then he looks up, and it's Remy and Ison. Blyke, you're awake! It's good to see Ison back on his feet. I wonder if Ison is going to tell Blyke now. What the fuck? How long have I been here? Most of the day. School's almost over. Yeah! And I guess, like, his injuries are finally coming to. Hey, don't move too much. You're still healing. Damn it! He slams his fist on the bed. Gah! I said take it easy. How am I supposed to take it easy when there's a maniac running around the school? Oh, yeah. And he's way stronger than me, too. He outmaneuvered me so easily, with my own ability, no less. And Ison's just kind of like, ugh, so fucking humiliating. And then Remy just walks over to him. Don't be so hard on yourself. He had the jump on you, and he always will. How are we supposed to be ready for him? He shows up whenever he wants to, while the rest have no choice but to sit around and wait for him to make his move. We're running on his schedule. Then Remy and Ison have nothing to say. He just finds a way to force his target into using their ability. After that, beating him becomes next to impossible. So I'm guessing you didn't power up right away. I tried to fight him with my fists, but that didn't do much. He's trained in hand-to-hand combat. He already had an ability lined up to use in case anything went wrong. He's got all his bases covered. And then Remy just looks at him. There's something I don't really understand. If he's just mirroring abilities, shouldn't the fights be somewhat even? So how is he always able to dominate his opponent, even if he had the other abilities stored in advance? And then Blyke's just kind of like, The skill gap can't possibly be that big. And then Blyke just looks at himself. You're right. It wasn't an exact duplicate. His energy beam seemed like an amplified version of mine. You guys are probably going to call me out on this, but something I've never brought up but have always thought. A lot of people have said that John's ability is ability mimicry. I think it's ability amplification. I think that's what the name of his ability is going to be. You guys are probably going to call me out, like saying you're only saying that because Blyke just said that, but I do genuinely think like that's been the name of John's ability. And something else I will get into in a future video. I really need to work. There's a video I want to make for you guys that I really need to work on. Like really, I really need to put effort into actually working on it. But continuing on, his energy beam seemed like an amplified version of mine. He did things that I haven't been able to do. What about you, Ison? Did he amp your ability too? Well, he stopped my punch cold, so he was definitely much stronger than me at the time. But he also had 3 other abilities with him, so I can't really be sure. Oh, so there's a possibility he can at least hold 4 amped up abilities at a time. Let's do a quick count. So right now, Blyke has just said that the cap can be 4. But explosion, regeneration, missiles, hunter, and then in chapter 26, was it? When he beat up Elena's group? Episode 30, actually. Episode 30. In episode 30, we did see John. Some fans have speculated. I'm not too sure about this one myself. Some fans did speculate that he also took Elena's ability, super strength, and Wenky's ability, super speed. I'm not too sure of that myself. I think there is more evidence that he took speed, so that's 5 abilities. Hunter, explosion, missiles, regeneration, super speed. Yeah. So 5, maybe 6, because we didn't see Wenki use her ability. We did see her activate it because her eyes activated. But not really much proof that he copied her ability then too. And then Blyke's just like, and then, or Ison's just like that, and then Blyke says, great, what the hell do we do against that? Remy, we don't have much to work off yet, but he has to have limits. If we can figure out what he's planning or who his next targets are, that'll give us a chance to intercept. He can't keep getting away with this. Yeah, we'll stop him. And Ison's just like, kind of like sweating a bit. And then it's Arlo on the roof now. And he's remembering what John said. I'll start by tearing down your precious system. They're calling him Joker. And someone comes to the roof. And it's Ison. Ison, what are you doing up here? Please. Please tell me you have a plan for John. And then Arlo stupidly just turns around. He's just having a tantrum. Leave him. He'll get over himself soon. No, he won't. He wiped Blyke out in front of everyone. Do you really think he cares about anything anymore? Arlo's not answering, just looks to the side. You have to stop being so passive with him. If you don't do anything about this soon, he's going to repeat what he did at his old school. Old school? What are you talking about? We know that Ison got the whole scoop on John, so I wonder if we're going to get more information on that with how exactly he did it. What happened? That's right, Ison didn't give Arlo everything. He told Cecile what happened, but he never told Arlo. He was the king at New Boston. And the way that ended, he beat his own subjects to a pulp and got himself expelled. John is messed up in the head. He's dangerous. Arlo's still just looking away. He's uncontrollable, especially if he's got his mind set on something. Then Arlo activates his ability, and he shrinks it on Ison. You knew all this for how long? And you didn't even try to warn me? Bullshit, Arlo. Ison warned you. He didn't tell you the specifics, but he warned you about John. He told you what to do with John. You saw what John was capable of, and you still pressed. You don't get to say that Ison didn't warn you. Nice of you to finally report this, now that you and your friends are in danger. What good is this information to me now? It's too late. I've already lost to him. I'm sorry, Arlo. I just didn't want to disrupt anything back then. But I never expected things to turn out like this. Save your excuses. If you don't have anything useful to say, then leave. And he deactivates his barrier on Ison. John may be the strongest student in Wellston, but you can't let that dictate everything. You have to fight back. If he takes over, nothing good will come out of it. No matter what, you can't give him the throne. UnOrdinary episode 139 end. That's a bit of a bummer. Oh, and reading the comments again, they're calling him Joker, and during the card game with his dad, they pull the Joker. Coincidence? I think not. Very, very astute. I didn't think of that myself. That chapter ended kind of abruptly, I feel, like with Ison's last line just being that. But again, Ison tried to warn you, Arlo, and you didn't listen. He told you not to put him on blast, and you didn't listen. Shut your fucking mouth, bitch. Anyway, still a great chapter. Glad to see that we'll avoid John versus Remy for now. But, ooh, maybe X-Ray will return then. Maybe X-Ray versus Joker will return. That'd be cool. Oh my god. What if Remy takes the ability enhancing drug to fight John. She probably won't do that. She probably won't do that. But man, intense, very intense. Something Ison said that was interesting, though. John is the strongest student in the school. Maybe he's saying that because Seraphina has lost her ability, or maybe John was stronger than Seraphina. Who knows? Uru knows. She's keeping those secrets from us. Still a really good chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Before we leave or end things off, a few things I just wanted to bring up. This chapter was on the little shorter side. Let me know what you guys thought about the chapter down below. I will definitely love to have our conversations again. But I also would like to do a question of the day with you guys, and I hope you guys will give this a thought. If you were a student at Wellston, what would your character and what would their ability be? I'll tell you guys mine because I've thought about this a ton. I don't know their name. If I'm being honest, I'd probably go with something like Jay for me. Big shocker. But they would be like John in the sense that they are a powerful student, but they keep to themselves, or prefer to keep to themselves at least. Their ability would be nature manipulation. And they would be a level 10. And yeah, the reason why I say that is because I've always been fascinated with the concept of nature magic, quote unquote, because growing up I always loved Bulbasaur. I always loved grass-type Pokemon. And it was always really sad to me that there was never many characters at the time who and to be quite frank, still not that many characters who use nature as like their power. Like there are definitely tons. Like there are definitely tons, but we never really see that in a main character. Anyway, I think like my character would be like level 10 nature manipulation. The way his ability would work, he could create plants. Like he could create plants like around him or like from the ground. Because his ability, because he is a high tier, the way his ability would work is that that nature would listen to him, or like nature would react to his benefit. One situation I thought of, he would also act like a cripple. Or no, he wouldn't act like a cripple, but he would never say what his ability was. He would keep to himself, and if people tried to start something with him, he would always stick to the grass. That way they would trip over something, probably a root or something that emerged from the ground. And so he could get away. And yeah, that would be my guy. Overpowered, I know. Level 10, I know. But let me know what you guys have come up with, because I'm under the assumption that all fans of everything have at least thought of their character, who they would be, at some point. Next thing. Seraphina. The season finale, I assume, is right around the corner. This was episode 139. If we're going by the logic of chapter 76, I think it was, the season finale will be around episode 150 or 152. In that area. What I think is going to happen, Sarah's going to take down John and dethrone him, or demask him. Something I've been speculating, and I think others have speculated because someone in the comments of my last video also brought this up. I think at this point it's just mental with Sarah. I think she can use her ability. It's just that she thinks she can't because she couldn't activate it, because she kept thinking about it, because she kept trying too hard to activate it. I think that her not being able to use her ability is completely mental at this point. And I think seeing the chaos and the panic that Joker is causing, she'll definitely see a fight at some point. She'll definitely see something, and of course John's not going to do anything to her. Like, he would never hurt Sarah. The reason why he doesn't want her to know about his ability is because he doesn't want her to leave him. He doesn't want to hurt her like he hurt Claire. And so I think she's going to see all the panic that he's causing, and she's just going to be like, and it's finally just going to awaken back with her. And I think either the season finale will be her, like, forgiving John and, like, understanding, like, why he did what he did, like, why he lied about everything, especially after, like, everything that's happened, like, with his past. Or it'll be, like, her beating him and demasking him. I think that's what the season finale is going to be. Arlo, like I said, Ison totally tried to warn you, and you just walked away. So don't tell John to, like, don't tell John that he's a victim of himself. He is, but you also set everything in motion yourself. And Ison tried to warn you. This is again, like, a lot of people have called John hypocritical and everything, and how a lot of people have started to not like John as much. But Arlo's no cup of tea either. Like, he's definitely a hypocrite in himself. He doesn't respect the royals who are higher. He doesn't respect high tiers who are higher than him. He doesn't truly believe in the hierarchy, I think, because he's only acting in his own benefit. Anyway, it was cool to see Ison interact with Arlo too. But I wonder what's going to happen next week. We haven't seen Sarah in a while. Like, when was the last time we saw Sarah? The last time we saw Sarah was 3 chapters ago. The chapter that just got released, where it was the aftermath of John's interview. And he was kind of in a panic. And Sarah was like, hey, what's wrong? And she ended the chapter off with, like, why don't you trust me? That's another thing, actually. I think Sarah has known about John's ability. Because there's been things going on, and, like, whenever things get brought up, she kind of, like, reacts weirdly. Like it's the first time she's hearing about it, which definitely is. But I think Sarah does. I also do think Sarah does know about John's ability. And she's just like, I'm willing to accept you because you're my friend. But maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't. I think she does. Anyway, to wrap this up, last week, if you were watching my Hero Aka reaction, you will know that I hit 100 subscribers last week. There was supposed to be a 100 subscriber special. First things first, because only 14 people saw the My Hero Academia live reaction, thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. Never thought that I would reach that. But thank you all so much. I'm glad you guys are liking the videos, and I'm glad you guys are commenting and having discussions about everything. It's really cool. It really feels great to interact with you all. Secondly, the reason why there was no 100 subscriber special released last week is because my voice started to go out. It's back up and running this week. I took some medication over the weekend and earlier this week, and hopefully I'm a bit better now. Hopefully I'll be able to record it. And because I didn't... Actually, no, I'm still not going to tell you guys what the 100 sub special is, but I hope you'll like it, because it's something I put a lot of work into. Look forward to that. That will be released this week, I promise. I might record it after this. But that'll be it for this week. Thank you so much for 100 subs. Thank you, Uru, for another fantastic chapter. And the Wellston royal flush seems to be complete. Well, not right now, because Seraphine is technically not the ace right now, according to herself. But the Wellston royal flush will soon be complete. So, follow me on Twitter. My link is down in the description of the video. See you guys back next week for another reaction to UnOrdinary, brought to you by Webtoons FastPass. See you guys then.